Hi, my name is Caitlin, and today I am going to be discussing eco-leadership discourse as a leadership method to be used by FastPace. FastPace is a globalized and highly competitive technology industry. Like many other globalized industries, FastPace is reliant upon strong leadership. The way leadership is delivered has changed significantly over the past 100 years. Wanting to stay relevant, FastPace is now looking into eco-leadership discourse as a way of leading our teams. To open this dialogue, I will be defining eco-leadership discourse, unraveling how organizations are ecosystems within ecosystems, what the advantages and disadvantages of distributing leadership throughout an organization are, how leadership works internally to support change, and ending with two international examples of eco-leadership qualities. So to start this dialogue, we need to have a strong definition of what eco-leadership is. Eco-leadership is not the biggest or the oldest discourse as seen on the previous slide, but it is becoming one of the most important forms of leadership. In this type of leadership, organizations are thought of as interconnected ecosystems that are independently working together to make up the whole. There is no single leader implied. Rather, leadership is dispersed throughout an organization. This is being greatly driven by the external factors of being an overall networked and interconnected society as a whole. Being interconnected gives organizations the responsibility and even expectation to be ethical at all times. They are ecosystems working within an ecosystem, meaning that what they do has an impact on others. This includes suppliers, distributors, customers, competitors, government agencies, and so on, involved in the delivery of a specific product or service throughout both competition and cooperation. The idea is that each entity in the ecosystem affects and is affected by the others, creating a constantly evolving relationship in which each entity must be flexible and adaptable in order to survive as a biological ecosystem. What does it mean that organizations are ecosystems within ecosystems? Well, they're all interconnected. So, taking a closer look at the advantages of having an eco-leadership discourse system, a case study involving distributed leadership practices of 3 principals in 3 middle schools sheds light on what the potential advantages of having leadership dispersed could look like for our organization. This study found that with the new system in place, there was an increase in team participation. Teams felt empowered to make decisions together, having the principal simply step aside and just act as a facilitator. There was also a greater chain of communication, and information was shared easier, which made teachers and team members feel more engaged in the schools. And one of the greatest advantages of this system was that individuals were accountable for their contributions to the collective results. These 5 advantages are great, but we have to be realistic as well and look at what disadvantages there possibly will be as well. So, while there is no denying that there are several advantages to having eco-leadership and leadership distributed, it is also important to note what communities of practice found when conducting a study on the distributed leadership model. In this, they found that there are 3 major disadvantages to not having a formal leadership model. This included having a lack of detailed succession plan, a lack of decision-making autonomy, and that work can ultimately be hindered by over-communication and too much collaboration. These are 3 disadvantages that we will need to keep in mind if we decide to distribute our leadership teams. Reflecting on how eco-leadership works internally to support organizational change, networking is key. This is a great way for leaders to create an emotional climate within their culture. By encouraging networking, organizational change will be supported because it will inspire leaders from within to come out of their shells, and furthermore, individuals will feel interconnected, which will give them the sense of empowerment and ability to perform. This idea of networking to support organizational change also carries over to being externally influential as well. According to a recent article, 80% of Fortune Global 250 companies now disclose their sustainability performance. Leadership is taking on a new form, and managing sustainability is now seen as critical to a company's success. This is being driven from three external factors. One, the growing environmental pressures of declining natural resources like energy, metals, and minerals. Second, the social pressures within the increasing expectation of customers, investors, and regulators. And lastly, the transparency that is made possible by technology, media, activists, and non-governmental organizations. Eco-leadership is intertwined with sustainability, as it is realized that we are an ecosystem within an ecosystem. While in theory, an eco-leadership is the future of modern leadership, it is helpful to look at a couple of international organizational examples so that we can fully grasp this concept. So to do that, we are going to look at the Body Shop, who was founded by Anita Roderick. She was not only a businesswoman, but a human rights activist. She was what Western termed as an early pioneer of the eco-leadership discourse in business. She ultimately believed that businesses have the power to do good, and she wanted to ensure that her business supported both social and environmental change. As a result of this desire, the Body Shop's simple ethical message and promotion of ethical and environmental friendly consumerism helped grow a very strong brand image that was rooted in family and community. By 1991, the Body Shop had over 700 shops worldwide. It is still considered to be the second most respected brand in the UK. Roddick said the aim of the business was not just about making money, but using valuable ethical and moral principles in deciding how the business is run. She believed this to her death, and when she passed away in 2007, she left her estate to charities. Second example of an international organization that has embraced eco-leadership practices is Paul Polman, CEO of Unilever. He believes that our society has gone from a rules-based society to a principles-based society. He argues that by focusing on principles, Unilever will improve the lives of the world's citizens and come up with a genuine sustainable solution. The company will then be more in sync with consumers and society, and ultimately this will result in good shareholder returns. In conclusion, organizations are now seen as interconnected ecosystems, which will require nurturing, not controlling. And with globalization and new technology, fast-paced should consider moving quickly in the eco-leadership discourse direction. By doing so, we will have a greater influence on our teams, our stakeholders, our customers, our environment, and our business. Overall, this will be a sustainable solution to interconnect our business. There are my references. Thank you. Have a great day.